Going solar on your own, it's the dream, right? Total energy freedom, saying goodbye to those crazy power bills, and just running your home on pure sunshine with your own two hands. But what if that DIY dream is actually a bit of a nightmare waiting to happen? Let's get into it.
And look, this is not some new trend. For decades, people have been dreaming of building their own energy system. I mean, this photo from an old school guide just goes to show how long we've been chasing this idea of being self-sufficient. It's a really powerful goal. And you fast forward to today, and that dream, it's totally a reality. The systems look great, they're super efficient, and the money you save is, well, it's undeniable. Look at this chart. We're talking about a $200 electric bill dropping to $50. That's thousands of dollars in your pocket over time. This is why everyone gets so excited. But this is also exactly where things can go very, very wrong. So imagine you've put all this work into your dream DIY plan, and you get a response like this. What you're looking at is a direct quote from a professional electrical engineer after reviewing a really common DIY setup. And their verdict, it was crystal clear and honestly pretty terrifying. This isn't just about a little mistake. We are talking about a major failure just waiting to happen. So let's break down exactly what went wrong. The first huge problem is something I call the current trap. And this is where a tiny miscalculation on paper leads to a system that just fails, constantly, in the real world. It all boils down to seriously underestimating the juice your panels can actually kick out. Now, to really get this, we need to talk about a core safety rule that engineers live by. It's called the rule of 1.56. And trust me, it's not just a suggestion, it's an absolutely critical safety calculation. Basically, you take your array's max current, multiply it by 1.25 for continuous use, then multiply that by another 1.25 to handle sudden power spikes, like when the sun suddenly blasts out from behind a cloud. That final number, that's the absolute bare minimum your parts have to be rated for. And here's where the math tells the whole story. For a system that puts out 14 amps max, that rule of 1.56 tells us we need protection for at least 21.8 amps. But the plan called for a 16 amp breaker. That's not just a little bit off. It's fundamentally unsafe and pretty much guaranteed to fail. And what's the real world result of that? Well, with that tiny breaker, your whole system is just going to shut down over and over, exactly when the sun is at its brightest, the very time it's supposed to be making you the most power. Your entire investment becomes useless right when you need it the most. Okay, let's move on to danger number 2. And this one is even more of a surprise because it's not about the heat, it's about the cold. It's called the winter voltage spike, and it is a silent killer for your most expensive equipment. So here's the crazy physics behind it. We always think solar power is about hot, sunny days, right? Well, electrically speaking, solar panels actually produce higher voltage when the temperature drops. It's a real thing called a negative temperature coefficient, and completely forgetting about it is it's a catastrophic mistake. Just look at this comparison. On a normal day, your array might be rated for 600 volts, which seems to match your inverter's 600-volt limit perfectly. You'd think you're good to go. But on a really cold, crisp, sunny winter morning, that same array's voltage is going to climb way past 600 volts. You've now blown right past the absolute limit of your inverter. And the consequence here is immediate. It's severe. If you send just one single volt too many into that inverter for even 1 second, you can instantly fry the electronics inside. We're talking about totally destroying a piece of equipment that costs thousands of dollars, all because of a cold morning. Now, for the third danger, this one's the sneakiest of them all. It's a mistake that actually looks correct on paper, but it's hiding in the fine print on the back of your solar panel. And yep, it's a serious fire hazard. Okay, pop quiz time. So using our rule of 1.56, we figured out that a 14 amp array needs at least 21.8 amps of protection. So grabbing a 25 amp fuse, that seems like the smart move, right? The math works out perfectly. So what on earth could be the problem? Well, here's the problem. The math doesn't get the final say. The manufacturer does. Every single solar panel has something called a maximum series fuse rating printed right on the back. And if that rating says 20 amps and you go ahead and install your mathematically correct 25 amp fuse, you've just created a fire risk. Oh, and you've also completely voided your warranty. So after all those pretty scary warnings, what's the right way to do this whole thing? Well, it's not about memorizing 1,000 different electrical codes. It really just boils down to a simple 4-point safety check that takes care of every danger we've talked about. Okay, here are the 4 absolute must-dos to make a system like this safe. First, you have to account for the temperature. Go back and recalculate your max voltage using the coldest day on record where you live. Second, verify that fuse rating. Whatever number is printed on the back of the panel, that is the law. Don't go over it. Third, upsize that breaker to at least 25, maybe 32 amps, to satisfy that rule of 1.56. And finally, number 4, match your wires. A bigger fuse needs thicker wires that can handle the extra current safely. These 4 steps are the foundation of a safe system. Period.
All right, let's zoom out for a minute. The whole point of this isn't to scare you away from going solar. Not at all. It's to help you maybe redefine what do-it-yourself really means here. It's about being a smart, informed consumer.
You see, your most important DIY decision isn't which fuse to buy. It's tackling the bigger questions, like, should I buy this system or lease it? What are the tax credits I can get? Which local installer has the best reputation? Your energy is best spent on that high-level strategy, not on risking your life with high-voltage wiring.
And I want to end with this quote from a super trusted source, and it's very direct. This is not an exaggeration. The voltages running through these systems are not like the outlets in your wall. They are high enough to be lethal. Safety has to be, without question, the #1 priority. So that really leaves us with one final question. What does do-it-yourself truly mean when it comes to solar? Is it you personally handling the complex and frankly dangerous electrical work, or is it you doing the critical research to find